Perfect. So we are live streaming, and if you are watching this in the Facebook group, scroll below this video and you're going to find the Zoom link to if you want to join inside of the Zoom room. I have a lot of questions that people have sent me that I have promised to make sure that I cover. So I'm going to go through them. And if there are still some questions left, so add your questions in the comment section. Also, if you are watching this on Facebook, you can add your questions inside of the comment section. So I'm just going to make sure that I can see the comments here. So let's see that we are live and I can actually see the comment section. Yeah, and we have audio. So if you have any questions, you can add them in the Facebook group. If they don't pop up, I'm going to make sure that I go back and answer them. But I think most of the questions will be answered today. So let's kick off. I wrote down some questions here in the chat for me, and then we have some questions coming in. So first, I just wanted to share about the live or the launch elite. I added 2 bonuses. So for you who weren't live yesterday, I added 2 bonuses, and those bonuses are live masterclasses / workshop. I'm not sure about the format that we are going to do, but it's for clients only. So I'm going to host two bonus sessions. One is going to be about money and sales mindset. So we're going to talk about how to connect ourselves emotionally from sales and how to get a better relationship with sales and money. So we're going to have that as one. And then the psychological part of why people do buying decisions. Why do they purchase something? And these 2 is going to be hosted around, I would say, week 6-ish, 6, 7, 6, 7, because that is when the most people are coming in and creating their sales emails, their sales pages, their invitations, and things like that. So it's going to suit inside of those weeks. It's only for clients. You cannot join those if you are not a client. So those are the 2 bonuses I added. Another thing that I got a question about was that I really want to join, but after the summer, 2,497, even the split investment is a little bit too much. So I added a 6-month payment plan for 497 per month. So everybody can join, and then you split it out over 6 months instead of 3 months. So I have added that on the checkout page, on the sales page for the Launch Elite. Okay. Then we have a couple of other questions. So, can I keep the material after the 12 weeks and get support? Yes. So after the 12 weeks, you keep access to all the material. And the Launch Elite is an entire portal with trainings for every single step. It's 6 steps, and inside of those steps, there is a training for each thing that needs to be done inside of that step. There is a worksheet for every step. There is also templates when needed. There is examples when needed. There is even, I have a landing page template, for an example, that you can just copy and paste. If you use the same platform that I use, you can only click on the link and it copy the entire funnel. That you can do. And we have everything inside of that portal. And also now when we run this cohort, I will update the material as we go, which means that you are always going to have updated material because the market changes and I need to adapt to the market changes. So that is why it's updated. So yes, you keep access to the 12 weeks and the support because you get access to a support community. and you keep access. So after the 12 weeks, when you host your next event, I am still going to be there inside of the community and answer all of your questions, okay? So yes, you keep access to the entire training portal with everything that you need to build this and the support community. Then we had a question in the chat. What day and time are the calls in the Launch Elite? So those are on Mondays, and it's 4 p.m. Central European time. That is 10 a.m. Eastern Daytime. So then that is when the calls are happening. And those are, I would say, about an hour. And the time that you will need to implement is going to be added on that. So let's say you join the call an hour, maybe you need 1 to 2 hours per week to implement everything if you want to implement it at the same time as we move forward. So let's see, when do I run my event? Well, if you follow the step-by-step. So we work with the 6-step, and we do the audience and offer alignment, and then we create the framework. Then you could, in theory, actually go out and promote it. But the next step is the promotion step. So most of our clients start promoting after that week, which means that most of the people are going to run their live launches at the end of October, maybe beginning of November. Can you do it faster? Yes, because you can work on your own, right? And ask us questions. But if you want to follow the guidance week by week, it's going to be end of October, beginning of November. Do I need an offer, and what kind of offer? You can have any offer. It can be a one-to-one, it can be a group, it can be a membership, it can be low ticket, high ticket. It doesn't matter, because the event that you built is going to sell that offer, which means that you can sell any offer. When it comes to this, it can be services, it can be done for you, it can be done with you, it can be consulting, it can be any service-based business. You do not need to have the offer created, but you do need to have a clear picture of the offer, because we do not do any type of market research. So you will, if you want to do any type of market research, it's outside of these 12 weeks. We do the alignment, and inside of that, we are going to break down your offer to make sure that the offer is a perfect fit for the person that you want to invite into the room. So we break it down, and we look at the gap that you close. We look at the decision-making moments. We look at the problems, struggles, frustration, fears, dreams, desires. We check everything that is in total alignment with the audience that you fill your event with. That we do. So we break down the entire offer, but you will need to have an idea that I want to sell a group program. This is what I want to sell to these people, and this is what is going to be included. And then you follow the audience and offer alignment to make sure that the offer is a perfect fit. But we don't, I want to say, we have no time to go out and do interviews, market research, and those kind of things. Build course platforms and things like that. So you will need to have a clear picture of what you want to sell. It doesn't need to be created. And I don't recommend anyone to create something nobody said yes to. Sell it first, create it later. Okay? Then I got a question from in the DMs. So should I always run the same topic? What wouldn't I attract more people if I run different topics? So you want to run the same topic because you, first of all, you want to own a topic on the market. You want to be known for that topic. You want it to be yours. You want to become the expert of that topic. My topic is sales with virtual events, sales one-to-many. Everything that I do is tied back to that topic. I do run 2 different events, one event 2 times per year to enroll in the Launch Elite, and one event for another offer that I also run a cohort on that is more focusing on sales, which means that both are in the same topic of sales one-to-many. So the same topic, absolutely. And I say that you should run the same thing again and again and again. It will never ever be exactly the same. And the only one that is going to get tired of your content is you, nobody else. Exactly, nobody else. You are the one that is going to be tired, and you are the one that is going to say, "Oh, they have heard it before, and now I need to change it." No, no. You can go and look at Russell Brunson. Russell Brunson had a 5-day challenge, I think it was. It was called One Funnel Away Challenge. He ran that, I think it was for nine years or 7 years or something like that. Every second month or something, same thing, over and over and over again. Okay. And he didn't doubt himself and say, "Oh, I think they already heard this." What's the same thing? And that is the power of it, because when you run the same topic, the same masterclass, the same challenge again and again and again, you're going to master that content that you provide. And the more you master it, the more energetic you're going to become, and the more you can sell, because the better you become at leading people, the better you become at communicating with people, the better you become in everything that you do inside of that. So no, you do not run around creating different things, throw it out the window, create a new one, because every time you start over, you go a little bit backwards before you go forward. And if you start over enough, well, a lot of times you're going to stand still in your growth. And we do not want that. So yes, same topic. You can then, yes, absolutely. You can then create, let's say you have 3 offers. You can have one event for each offers and cycle them. That is not what I'm saying, but you're not going to create for this offer 5 different events to sell the same offer. You're going to run the same thing. Okay. How often do you recommend to run the events? You can do them every month if you want to. Maybe not more than every month, because it's going to be very tight and you don't want to be in promotion all the time, but you can do. I hosted every single month up until, I would say, 2023, 24. That is when I don't do that anymore. So maybe now I think 6 to 8 times per year, but you can do it absolutely every month if you want to. But usually we end up with 6 to 8 times per year, because some people don't want to launch in July because they are on vacation. Maybe you don't want to launch in December because you travel, or you have Christmas and New Year and things like that. There are things in your life that makes a month not suitable for a launch. So we usually end up maybe 6 to 8 times per year. And yes, if you host a masterclass, you can absolutely easily do it every month. A 5-day challenge is more challenging than a masterclass to run every month, but you can do it. I did it. But yeah, we discussed this inside of the Launch Elite and decide together. If I have several different but related types of programs in mind, each appealing to slightly different clients, should I focus on launching just one first or run multiple? One first. You run one, sell one offer to one person again and again and again until you master it. And then you can build how many you would like. I don't suggest that you should have different ideal clients, but you can have different offers for the same ideal client. You can think about a ladder, that you have an entry offer down here, a smaller thing where they can easily say yes and just grab it. They get into your world, kind of an offer that sits in the middle. That's usually a next step for your ideal client. And then a back-end offer that is a more high ticket, maybe a one-to-one or a mastermind or a VIP things or something like that. So but should be for the same client. Don't ever create down sales for people that are not your ideal clients just because you want to make sales. Make absolutely no sense, because you cannot move them through your offer ladder. Do you teach offer ladders? Not in the Launch Elite, because it's only 12 months. So there is no time to create an offer ladder, because we focus on creating one launch. How can I offer more than one entry point into my business without creating overwhelm for myself or confusing potential clients. So when you think about an entry point, it's usually a no-brainer yes thing. You create it for your ideal client, but it's not this huge commitment. So it can be a VIP hour. It could be a power hour. You can call it like that. It could be a short event. So I run once per year a 3-day live paid event. It is almost like a live program, compact with 2-3 hours per day. That could be, you call a live event or a live program. So it's not usually really high ticket. It's an entry level, but it needs to be for your ideal clients so you can move them up the ladder. So when they come in saying yes, you then can upsell them into the next step, because somewhere you need to look into the lifetime value of a customer. If I try something and it works, how do I adapt or reuse that process across different type of offers? You just copy the process and you do the exactly build one more event for exactly the same way, but selling another offer. So the beauty with this is that you build the event once and you run that, but you still have the strategy, you still have access to the strategy. So if you 6 months from now want to build, let's say you built a 3-day workshop now selling your mid-ticket offer, and in 6 months you want to have a webinar selling your entry-level offer, a lower ticket, you use the same strategy. You have it in the Launch Elite. How do I handle objections? I don't believe in handling objections. I believe in conveying a message. So what I do, we talked about it yesterday, when you know that there is an objection in your audience, there are niche specific objections, and then you have across niches. And one objection that is across niches is time. Time is a huge objection. And so for my dream client is also time. So what I think about when I create my content for my event is, how can I talk about the objection time and shift that objection? How can I convey them that message that they're going to save time, or that this is not going to add time to their table? Okay. So that is how I handle objection. I think handling objection is so strange. There is an objection. You are not handling it. You're transferring a new belief, right? If people have an objection about it's not the right time right now, you need to speak to that. But handling it, for me, it sounds so strange. So, but I do understand what you mean. That you do inside of your content. And in the Launch Elite, we make sure that we target as many objections as we possibly can get our thoughts around. But every time you run it, you're going to get a new objection that you didn't think about. And then you need, of course, to have that in your debrief. And then you're going to talk about it the next time. How deep in teaching should I go? I suggest you watch yesterday's replay, first of all, because you need to be very up here, very high level surface. You cannot go deep, because if you do, you overwhelm people, and people are going to leave and not knowing what to take action on, and they're going to be completely overwhelmed. So don't do too much teaching. Think about leading people through mindset shift, through objections, through clarity. Lead them to decisions, lead them through, paint the picture, and move people from A to B. That should be your focus, instead of go too deep in teaching. You still teach, yes, because that is how you show people you know your shit. If you don't teach anything, if you don't speak about your topic, if you don't share that type of value at all, how are people going to know? Why do they need to know it instead of how do you do it? Because the how can be so overwhelming. because people say, oh, I know how, what, when, how, where to implement, do first, you know. So more think about what do they need to know and why do they need to know it instead of how. Does it need to be live? Yeah, can come an evergreen, like a recorded, but until it converts really well, I would not go evergreen. The whole idea is live selling. Live is where you absolutely lead people the best, because a two-way communication is the best way to build trust, for an example, and the best way to convey a message and reading the room. So I would definitely do live. I do not teach evergreen webinars. Which platform should we choose? I use Zoom to stream. I have clients that use just Facebook Live groups, streaming live with Facebook Live. It can be very hard to track data from that. So that is why we use Zoom meetings. I have used Zoom webinars. It's also really easy to use, but a lot of our webinar platform is really expensive. So if you feel like they are too expensive, go with Zoom webinar, with Zoom meetings. It works perfectly fine. What tech do I need to invest in? So for the launch elite, you need, of course, to be able to send out emails and to create a landing page and to sell your offer in some shape or form, right? A checkout page. You can do that in Stripe. You can take the payment right in Stripe, but you will need to be able to collect email addresses and send out emails. I use System.io. Everyone that is in the launch elite get a complete template of a landing page and a thank you page and a replay page. They can just click on a link and it copy it directly into their System.io account. If you don't have System.io, you can just copy the layout. It's a very simple page that covers everything that needs to be covered. I use System.io because it's an all-in-one platform, so I use it for landing pages, emails, sales pages, communities. I use it for everything. I don't use any other platform to do any of that. So on the free inside of Launch Elite, what we do there can be done in the free version of System.io. I have experience from New Sendler, but it's 3 years ago since I moved from New Sendler to System.io, and there have been a lot of changes. What is good with New Sendler is that they have Zoom integrated, so you actually don't need your your own Zoom account. You can use theirs. They even have Zoom webinars, so that could be an option as well. But I don't use that anymore. Not that it isn't good, because I was one of the original gangsters there. I was there since they started. But to be able to sell there, you need to create a course. So you create a little course. You don't need to have anything in it, but there you create a course and you sell that. That is the product. And I sell tickets, so it became not sustainable. So I moved to System.io, where I can sell tickets. So you don't actually need to invest in anything else. I don't understand that people feel they need so many tech stuff. I don't get it at all. If you don't want to pay anything, you use Facebook and a Facebook Live and a Facebook group. Do I need a team? Now, what I teach is you can do with a one-man show. How do I know if my price of my offer is right? I usually say, with a gut feeling, and whatever you decide is good, because when you say the investment, you need to feel good about that. If it's too low, you're going to feel you sell yourself short, and that energy is going to feel, they're going to feel that energy. If you feel you sell it too expensive, you're going to be, oh my God, that energy, and people are going to feel that. So whatever feel good. We have inside of the audience and offer alignment, a training about pricing, and we talk a lot about it inside of the Launch Elite. But absolutely, when it comes to pricing, whatever you feel inside here is good. What conversion rate can I expect? So average conversion rates is usually anywhere between 5 to 20%, depending. So it's very hard to say. It's different depending on if you have an what is a lower ticket or a higher ticket, right? So yeah, those were the questions. So thank you so much. It has been a pleasure. And make sure that you click on the link for the Launch Elite. I'm going to share it in the comment section here. And I'm going to upload this recording also on the replay page. The replay page is up Tuesday midnight Central European time. That is also when we close the doors for the Launch Elite cohort. So thank you so much. And I hope that if you have any more questions, make sure you add them into the community or send me a DM or send Josephine a DM or answer one of the emails that I'm sending out. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Yes, thank you so much. Take care. Bye.